Welcome to Dano Does Things. I'm Dano, and this week I'm making my first foray into needle felting by making a little mushroom. Needle felting is a great craft if you are both a little artsy and a little angry. From what I can tell, I'm just going to stab some wool until it's in the shape that I want it to be. As it always seems with crafts, you can go all in and get some specialized and likely expensive supplies, but I'm a beginner and I'm using just the basics. I've got what they call wool roving, which is just this loose, fluffy wool in a couple of colors, a foam block to felt onto, and I've got my needle felting needle. I was definitely under the impression that it would be just like a normal sewing needle, but it's not. It has these little barbs on it that help to pull on the fibers. Okay, now this is where I take a second to warn anyone doing needle felting, be careful. These needles are super sharp and you're stabbing right around your fingers. So take it slow and watch yourself. We don't need any needle felting disasters. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into stabbing. I picked a mushroom for my first needle felt for a couple of reasons. I have these little ceramic mushrooms that are in some of my houseplants, and they just look super cute, so I thought it would be equally as cute to make some out of wool. Spoiler, it is pretty cute. I also saw a couple of needle felted mushroom tutorials, which I'll link to down below, and they seemed fairly easy. And as a beginner, I will always choose easy for the first time so I can get my bearings. If you choose something really difficult right off the bat, you don't always give yourself the chance to learn the fundamentals. To make a mushroom, you just need to make two shapes in two colors. I did my stem in white and started by pulling out the length that I wanted and then rolling it between my hands to get the shape started. Then I stabbed it a lot, making sure to turn it often to keep it cylindrical. I left the wispy ends so I can use them to attach it to the top later. The top is easy too. I made a coil out of red wool and shaped it into the right size. Then once more I stabbed away, flipping every so often until the fibers of the wool are tight and close together and it feels like one solid piece. This probably would have been easier if my piece wasn't bigger than my foam block, but that's what I got in the starter kit, so I'm working with what I got. Now I'll be honest, watching a video of something as simple as this might be a little boring because I'm literally just doing the same thing over and over. But when you're actually doing it, it's pretty relaxing. Or at least I found it relaxing. I sort of got into a rhythm and was able to just shut off my brain for a bit, which doesn't happen very often. Between working 2 jobs, social obligations, chores, and everything else I do, I don't always give myself time to decompress. Which is why this channel is so important to me. It's forcing me to stop for at least an hour or 2 a week just to sit and create and let my mind chill out. Being busy is so glamorized nowadays, and it can be easy to forget to take time to take care of yourself. Now once the top is properly felted, I'm just gently pushing and pulling on it to give it that real mushroomy shape. You can make it really rounded or more flat, whatever really looks good to your eye. Mushrooms come in all shapes and sizes, so yours can be a little wonky too. To attach the stem, I'm just placing the wispy bits onto the bottom of the cap and carefully poking them through just enough to make sure it's all secured. A little bit of white did poke out the top, so I just pulled a little bit more red wool to felt on top. I was pretty careful at this step to make sure I didn't get the red into the stem. And that's it! I now have a super cute little mushroom pal. I love how it turned out, and it'll probably hang out with one of my houseplants for the foreseeable future. Now I just need to make some for my other houseplants. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and come back next week to see what I get up to.